The save siege situation is insane.
Everyone's been saying Rainbow Six Siege has been dying for years, like almost the entirety of its lifespan. But for the first time in its entire lifespan, I actually feel like Siege might be dying. Jinxie, Siege's unicorn biggest streamer ever to hit the platforms of Siege, has moved on to Clash Royale. The new season that they just dropped had like no content. Is that it? And with beloved esports figures being laid off from the staff, you can't help but feel like Ubisoft has almost given up on Siege.
Yeah, it definitely feels they've given up because we haven't got a new map in a year and a half. And a lot of the new operators just get nerfed to oblivion before they're even on release. And it just makes the game not fun. There's nothing to look forward to.
And I'm sure the community's felt that too, because a certain phrase has almost rebirthed itself after 5 years. Hashtag Save Siege has been spreading like wildfire over Siege social media posts. So today in this video, I'm gonna tell you everything that's wrong with Siege and how I would fix it, because I still think that it could be the greatest FPS ever made.
The way I described it real quick, let me just show you guys an image, is something I tweeted out the other day, and I think it's like no other image can represent this as well as this. But I posted a photo on This Is the State of Siege. We're just in a very stagnant position if we keep going with like how the game is. But all this is like custom game stuff, more on like what will keep the community to stay. Otherwise, this is like make everything like super like balanced and nothing that really makes it be like, oh, I want to hop on Siege today to what? You know, play Doc without his ACOG, or like maybe, well, to be fair, the magnifying scopes were a problem because it just made a revolving door of nerfs and buffs to operators who would just get an insanely high pick rate just from that.
People often want to blame the devs when anything's going wrong with their video game. Why'd you make this change? Why aren't you making this change? They're a very easy target to point fingers at. But to be completely real with you guys, the real problem is very, very far from the devs. The real problem is all the way at the very top of Ubisoft, the executive.
This guy's like Thanos that sits on the Ubisoft chair or the Ubisoft yacht, and he's sipping his champagne, and he's like, Jarvis, buy me my next Lamborghini. But sire, we need to fix the Siege anti-cheat or the game might die. So, Jarvis, you want me to shut you down? Buy my next Bugatti. When I was in Brazil, Fett was one of the people who would ask the devs a lot at the conferences that we have, and overall other creators too. But we have a very like transparent, connection, like relationship with the devs. And they ultimately are trying to fix everything of the game, but they don't have probably the proper resources. Like Ubisoft doesn't give them. If we wanted to make a better anti-cheat, we probably would have done it by now. But they've got to make a good anti-cheat with sand castles and band-aids to fix a bullet wound.
That oversee the financial decisions with the parent company itself. Because I know content's been low, but the devs can't make more content and better updates if they don't get funded to do it.
Oh yeah, see, Fett said it right here.
If the
literally
team is one of the most relatively small,
no one say pre-watched
in the world. I've met the devs and they really care about the game. They've been listening to a lot of our changes, and a lot of the things that are bad just happen because they're planned out 3 years in advance, like Blackbeard being added when shields were the most broken ever. That's just real unlucky timing, I'm gonna be real. But even though they might not be perfect, the devs care, the players care, the pros care. Everyone really wants this game to succeed, even if we do. Like,
when we met the devs, they watch a lot of our YouTube videos and they take criticism. They even enjoy our content. Like it's almost like when they are members of the community. And while you would think they don't really watch that stuff because they make the game, it's a really good connection they have, and they're really trying their hardest. But ultimately, it's probably like they don't have the resources. The devs don't give a fuck? No. You have not met the devs. We have. And just because we're creators, for the sudden reason we might be biased, but it's more than just people who are quote unquote devs in that general area, in that like who make Siege. There's an anti-cheat team, there's a game director, there's a fucking like sound production team, there's an audio team, and these guys are constantly getting hired and rehired. And they have no idea who we are at the same time too. They do as the owners. Ubisoft is the owners. They're just people who work there.
But the issue is the ones that seemingly don't care.
Like if you want to have a sleepover with a friend, chat, when you were younger, you have to tell your mom and dad, can we go sleep over? Hey, go tell your parents to talk to my parents. It's like that.
Are at the top of the ladder.
Ubisoft doesn't give a fuck. Exactly.
Calling all the shots. And it seems like they're more focused on min-maxing and squeezing as much money as water out of a rock out of Siege as they can than actually investing into the game. But that's easy for you to say. I mean, anyone could just say, just invest more money. How do you know they have the financial means to invest more money? Well, Ubisoft tried to make a game called X-Define, which was...
Oh, okay. X-Defiant was low-key decent. It's low-key just overshadowed by Call of Duty, Valorant. Oh my god, don't get me started on Extraction. Ooh. Extraction. Ooh. It has like 50 players playing it, or 30 players, I'm pretty sure.
At the time, dubbed to be a COD killer because it wanted to compete with the slightly lower and disenchanted player base of COD. And what happened to that game? It's dead. Shut down. Hyperscape, a game that wanted to compete against the other Battle Royales during the Battle Royale era. Also shut down and dead. Roller Champions, a game that wanted to compete with Rocket League as a, I don't know, soccer type game? I don't know really. Shut down and dead.
Wait, this looks like Fortnite. That does not look like Ubisoft. I feel like Ubisoft's identity in games is just make everyone look like a futuristic cyberpunk street teen. Like, not teen, but... You know what I mean?
Skull and Bones, which is supposed to be the world's first quadruple A game, meant to compete against, I guess, Sea of Thieves or some bullshit. I don't know. It's dead. It's gone. No one plays that game. Everyone hates it. April 2025. Ubisoft
Dude, I didn't even know they made this.
Developing a new battle royale game that is heavily inspired by Apex Legends. Ubisoft execs believe that Apex's player count falling could give them an opportunity to develop a similar.
Hey, well, instead of trying to fucking spend all of our funds making games like that, why don't we just focus on the game that makes them the most money right now and literally has no competition? Siege. Siege has no competition. What other mode has like the mechanics of no jumping one shot headshot, the lean mechanics, the fucking wall bangs, the map manipulation, the fucking opportunity to clutch a 1v5 and put your team in the back of the round still? I mean, you could argue for any FPS, but you guys get my fucking point. And all the gadgets and just the fucking military lore and all that.
Game. Hey Ubisoft, you have repeatedly tried and failed to create a game in a space that competes against big other live service, massively multiplayer games over and over and over again. But do you know what game you have that is so unique that has...
Bro, me and Fit are we're just wired, bro. The Asian blood is just telepathic.
A massive player count on console and PC that no one can compete with, that used to be a thriving tier 1 esport. Rainbow Six Siege. This game literally used to be in the same category as League of Legends, CSGO, and Dota. Why are you trying to make a new esports title if you already had one? A game that started off dead, clawed itself back into relevancy in 2018. Have you ever seen that, by the way?
Holy pre-watch. This is not a pre-watch.
Dead on release. It's horrible. And it clawed itself back into relevancy, fell off, clawed itself back to another new peak player count in 2020. Again, fell off again. Clawed itself back to another peak player count in 2021, and then again in 2024 when Jinxie came around. Not to mention, this is just Steam charts. There's also all the Ubisoft Connect players playing, which is probably more than the Steam players on PC, and not to mention the overwhelmingly massive console population, which is probably quadruple, if not quintuple the size of this. I would not be surprised to see millions of players playing Siege. This is your title right here that you need to focus on. This is your successful live service game.
Oh my god, do not even get me started on Dual Front. Like, if they can't, like, oh my god, like now that I think about it, if they can't make a remake of other famous games, it's almost like they're taking the top trophy, the top game they have, and they're trying to like change it to Call of Duty or some shit.
You just can't help but feel like,
god, Dual Front, don't even get me started.
They don't even know.
Dual Front low-key good as fuck, this guy says. Bro, you are one of the 3 Dual Front fans in this game. Pipe down.
What a Siege is. They just look at the numbers and call it a day. I saw your 2024 financial report, Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed made you 4 billion. Rainbow Six Siege made you 3.5 billion. Far Cry made you 2 billion. These are your top profiting games. Why the
Assassin's
are you
Creed
trying
made
to go up
4
against
billion?
giants like COD or Apex Legends or Sea of Thieves or Rocket League?
Let me ask you guys this. Have you touched Dual Front in the past, I mean, since it came out? Yes or no?
And you have.
I have 0 matches on it. 0 matches since it came out. I've only played it on early release.
A unique game that
Like when
no
I was
one
invited to
can
events.
compete with. It's right there. And at the end of the day, it just feels like this is a company that like doesn't really see the games as games, but rather as like numbers for them to just keep maximizing profit. Riot Games made it.
Yeah, I mean, if you, I've confirmed my opinion on Rank 2.0, but the reason why Ubisoft loves Rank 2.0 is because it retains more players. More players means more people to buy their shitty fucking R6 membership subscription.
A show about League of Legends called Arcane. If you don't live under a rock, you know what Arcane is. It's one of the most successful and award-winning game adaptation show ever. And it created songs that had like 400 million streams on Spotify. It created some of the biggest songs ever. Arcane lost money, by the way. Arcane went negative, by the way. But you want to know what a Riot exec said to that? People think we make things like Arcane to sell skins, when in reality, we sell skins to make things like Arcane. Arcane crushed for players, and so it crushed for us. I know League of Legends have their problems with Riot, but it feels like the top dogs at Riot at least really.
How does it
care
retain
about
players? Because more people are playing ranked, basically. Like they see more people like not just playing casually. Instead, they're on. I feel like not to make it too long about the side yap, but it's basically it gives casual players kind of like a 3-month-long rank journey, or maybe even sometimes a year-long rank journey where they become three ranks higher than they've ever been. And they're like, oh my God, I'm getting good at the game. But then obviously, even in their perspective, yes, they're on paper getting higher ranks, but they're frustrated because they're facing higher ranks than themselves. Golds are playing up against champions. Why? That's not what they signed up for. But ultimately, they're still playing the game and hella confused, but Ubisoft sees that as, oh, they're still playing the game. Let's keep it.
Games that really want to push out something really good. Like at least it feels like they know what League of Legends is. I'm gonna be real. Sometimes when I look at Ubisoft, it just feels like they want to reduce spending, and keep a lot of profit maxers in the corporate world. But if you look at the very, very top, it's always those who sacrifice. Those who understand you have to go negative before you go positive. Those who take risks and invest in their own projects that they're passionate about. And before anything else, I believe that is the #1 thing Siege needs. But it's so easy to say they just need to invest. What are they going to invest in? They can't just throw money at Siege and make it good. Well, I have an easy answer to that. The anti-cheat.
Chat, be honest. What year of Siege are they fixing the anti-cheat?
Now, cheating has been a problem in Siege for a long time. It feels like every single day a pro or a
Year
player
20,
is crying about
never.
cheaters. But usually it only affects the top of the ladder, so usually normal players' playing experiences are affected. This season is bad because there are people in gold and
Year
silver
100.
now that I have personally heard that are globally experiencing playing against cheaters. Not only that, they made the casual version of this game free to play. And if you know anything about
For context, by the way, I was playing about a 2 to 3 hour rank session before this in about like Emerald, Diamond, Elo, and there was a closet cheater in almost every game. It's usually at nighttime. Maybe that's when the cheaters are on more, but when I play in the daytime, I don't get as many, but it's still bad this current time.
about free-to-play versions of games, you know that those
But I will say, if you're like platinum and lower, you probably don't experience that many cheaters. You'll still come across them, but you won't find as much because they're all just fucking ranking up hella fast.
immediately get infested with cheaters. Counter-Strike. And I play casual a lot. I have so many clips of actually people just running outside the building full aimbotting, and it just sucks to know that
A cheater every game. Now, holy cope. This is the same dude who said he likes Dual Front. Bro, you are 0 for 2 right now, man. You are 0 for 2 right now.
people getting into the game, their first taste of it will be cheaters. 3 out of 5
takes.
games. I mean, my main mission with content is to grow Siege.
Yeah, I think this is like a UB agent in my chat.
Siege esports, and I actually branched out into Counter-Strike for this reason. I had a really successful 200,000 view video watching Counter-Strike, and a lot of people came into my chat after that saying, hey Fed, loved your video on Counter-Strike, you made me want to pick up and try Siege. And it just hurt me in the heart to know that these people were picking up Siege, loading up into casual games, and
oh my god, the fact that he said that, guys, imagine the amount of marketing these guys put into Siege X. Can you guess how much money? Throw a number at me. Millions of dollars. They got fucking Ludwig, Shroud again, Summit, fucking Hassan. Why would they hire Hassan? Bro, those guys are like just chatting Twitch frogs. They don't want to play this game. And you know what the first impression of this game was? Dual front.
Against cheaters, and that was our first experience of the game. I was working my ass off to bring players into the game and back into the game, knowing full well they would come back to playing an unplayable piece of shit.
Wait, what other creator did they hire to
cheating.
play Siege X
Cheaters
chat?
are not important.
That's huge.
Because they ruined the competitive strategy or blah 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 blah. That doesn't really matter. Cheaters and quality life and hit reg and all these other things and sound and all that are important because of playability. No one's gonna play your game if it's not a playable game.
Do I see Siege ever selling, Ubisoft ever selling Siege? No. What? Bro, Siege is like a top, you saw the chart, it's a top 3 game that's making the money. They're gonna fucking hold Siege for hostage and make it eat grains and dirt. And yeah, they're just gonna torture the fuck out of the game.
That's why I put this section before
just enough to keep it malnourished and alive.
The content and game update section, because a lot of people complain about the game not receiving enough updates and content and changes they make, but honest to God, a lot of popular games have had stretches or have stayed the same over the years, like CS has basically stayed entirely the same and it's still one of the most played games. What mad?
Oh yeah, they hired the FaZe guys. This is a quick story. I met Jason, the first creator I met at the CJX event. I had a late flight because I missed my flight. So I flew in at like midnight, and I go check out the hotel gym before I go to bed. And I saw Jason there, and brother was like just getting a workout in. And yeah, he was like talking about how they like paid him to come out, other FaZe guys too, how they had like other streams planned to go and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it was kind of fun meeting all of them, like Agent as well. Agent is so down to earth. Anyone here watch Agent? I don't really watch his content, but like talking to him, he just felt like a genuine dude, like a person who knows what he's doing. And it was really not. Oh, my favorite person I met there, easily Joe Bartolozzi. Dude is like probably one of my favorite creators I've ever met, and I still watch some of his content to this day. Like, Joe gave me some tips on, like, eventually, he even asked me if I would ever branch out from Siege, and just gave me some advice on, like, some YouTube and content and how he runs things as well. And just, like, we talked about life, bro. We talked about, like, drugs. We talked about fucking religion. We talked about all this over a pool game, too, by the way. He's such a dude.
What matters is that the game is playable. It needs to play. You need to be able to load in and play the game. Ask anybody you know that plays all 3 or 2 out of 3 of Valorant, CS, and Siege. Ask them which game do they think is conceptually
my PC is tweaking right now, chat. Don't worry, it's just me.
Like $20,000 that more than half of the people you ask will consistently say CS or Siege is preferred conceptually to Valorant. But they will end up playing Valorant more because guess what? That game is just more playable. I'm gonna be real. I hate Valorant, but it's so popular because it's playable. The anti-cheat is amazing. The hit reg is amazing. They prioritize these things going into the game so the game feels good and you can actually play games of that said game. The thing with anti-cheat is it'll always be a cat and mouse game. Yes, I know there will always.
Dude, I didn't realize how large Valorant was. Like Valorant, I mean, most games are more popular than Fortnite, but Valorant has millions of players a day. I actually, like, compared to Siege numbers, bro, that's fucking nothing.
Cheats, and they will always be ahead of the anti-cheat. But the thing is, the anti-cheat should always be trying to catch up to the cheaters. The cheats, the anti-cheat. It should not be like this. It should not be like this. It should be like this. They should be trying to reduce the amount as little as possible. GTA Online is a game notorious for having really horrible loading screens, to the point where people are saying that if GTA didn't have loading screens,
Chat, what comes first? Siege working anti-cheat or GTA 6?
it would easily be the top 1 game in the entire universe.
You need to hop on Val and get some e-kittens.
GTA loading screens. It just makes the game unplayable. Cheaters got so bad that Ubisoft made
Nah, chat, I'm retired from that.
If your teammate leaves the game within the first minute, you can cancel the game. Intended for like internet issues, but really used to dodge cheaters. They made the cooldown for that 5 minutes. When I queued up with our friends who had very impressive ranks, our experience was this. We got canceled on, we got canceled on again, we got canceled on again.
You know what's funny? The cancel option is never used. It's like 99% used for cheaters and dodging matches over penalty of someone accidentally leaving. Like the odds of someone accidentally leaving a game is so rare.
We got canceled on again, and then when we finally got into a game, oh, it was a bunch of blatant cheaters that hit the servers after we won a round.
Wait, he's bringing that guy.
I'm a survivor. I told you, Fat. I told you every game.
Every fucking.
Oh my god. Wait, hold on.
Dude, all this invasive shit for what? Elo?
A big portion of the game's players that spends all the monies buying all the accounts. It makes Ubisoft's money. That's why they won't do it. That's actually been disproven. Cheater bots in Team Fortress 2 plagued the servers and made up about 1/6 of the player base.
Oh, he's talking about why Ubisoft won't ban cheaters because they make up a lot of the player base.
That's right. The ban weight hit 16,000 accounts out of the TF2 player base. And guess what happened? Like you saw in the headline, the player population doubled over the course of the next couple of days. This spike is where they banned all those bots, which was 1/6 of their player base, and then the population went up.
Oh my god. Dude, 141,000 people playing Team Fortress. Oh, imagine that for Siege. Oh my god.
People want to play a cheater-free game. And even if only the top players gets cheaters, dude, that's your marketability of the game. The streamers, the content creators, the pros, the good players, the ones that hit the one taps, all the crazy people. That's who markets your game. One of Siege's biggest streamers and creators ever, if not the biggest right now.
Oh my god, can you guys imagine the day where it's like Ubisoft is faced with some, I don't know, lawsuits or somehow, and they have to release Siege within 3 months or else the game gets deleted. And imagine like Epic Games or Riot like retweets that shit and says, "Welcome home." My god, that would be peak absolute cinema.
For Siege, at least now that Jinxie's gone, literally
just imagine,
entire
bro.
Career of hitting #1 champ.
The amount of dopamine that hits my brain.
Up hitting #1 champ. And think of like content from other games like League of Legends, where you interview the #1 Aurelia player, the #1 Yasuo player, the #1 whatever player. I interview the #1
#1 a zombie player. Like I got tired of making those videos, guys. Like being the #1 a zombie player is so tiring. Like,
player and sees what he's different. All that potential for content and up-and-coming players, up-and-coming content, superstars and pros, all gone out, washed the window, because now when we look at a top 5 leaderboard, top 20 leaderboard on Siege, we assume immediately that they are all blatant cheaters. This speaks to one of my other points.
Are you guys saying cap?
6on6 podcast with Nintero that I talked about how I feel like the spirit of Siege is dead because I don't feel like playing it anymore. And Nintero goes, yeah, well maybe that's because you're getting old and you don't have a taste for games anymore. And I'm like, that might be true, and I agree with that effect if I didn't have access to a population of players called pros that I could gauge their opinions on. It doesn't matter if they're getting old. Pros should be playing the game all the time. My pro friends used to always stack up to top 5. NJR and Spirits, when Spirits 1v1 Jinxie, he was a #1 champ. They would play all day long to get #1 champ. BDS and Shaika, when they won the Yanchiping Major, they were champs 1 through 5. If the pros are not even playing ranked anymore, because they're just gonna run into that many cheaters anyways, I think that's a pretty good measure.
Mojang would have better anti-cheat than what Ubisoft has.
Jinxie left for Clash for the same reason, albeit it was stream sniping and different stuff and stuff that I can't really see a good fix to because he's just that popular. But I think that's the most important thing, is the playability. But alas, people mostly want to see changes to the actual
we're going
game.
to just so this video is not super long, we're just gonna skip to like, we'll just see what other points he has on. But obviously if you want to watch Fet's video, you can watch it later on his own channel.
So here's what I would do on rank 2.0, honestly, whatever, if it's good, if it's working for the game.
Oh, he's talking about rank 2.0. I'll give my 2 cents. This game, I feel like it would just be better if they brought back MMR restriction. But at the same time, rank 2.0 has done irreversible damage to this game, because there's like a lot of variations. There's people who play this game a lot and not a lot, people who haven't played the game in years, or new players who just picked up the game. People who haven't played in years but used to be high ranks are playing with, eventually when they get back into the game, they're stuck with like people who do not belong in those ranks. Obviously, it makes sense if you haven't played a long time, you're going to be a little bit lower in rank. But as that smooths out, it can only last for like so many days and weeks until the matchmaking is just fucked. It's like if you just mixed up if you got a deck of cards and you shuffled it a fuck ton of times, you can't reverse it back, bro.
Keep it.
And the quality of the game, it doesn't want to make players play Siege for more than like 3 ranked games. After maybe like a win and 2 losses, I would be done. I'd be off. I would play a different game, something else.
But separate it out at a certain threshold. Jinxie said this once, I believe, and so credit to him for saying this. At a certain threshold, change it off of rank 2.0. Make it like regular plus minus gain again, and then add a top 500 rank, where you get rewards and maybe a charm with your top 500 rank after that.
I do agree, but I feel like a top 500 rank is like not really needed if champion wasn't so easy to get in the first place.
A season saying what number in the world you wore. Now, obviously.
But I would also love, yes or no, would you guys like a public leaderboard, kind of like Valorant, where you can see the top 500 people in the world?
This assumes that you got rid of cheaters, right? Like, this assumes you got rid of cheaters. Otherwise, cheaters will just literally fill up this entire rank. But that would actually incentivize people to play the game, because guess what? That's the spirit of the game. That's prime Siege. When you would play with your boys, 5-stack, playing the craziest strategies, sweating your ass off until 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m.
This passion that Fez talking about, I feel like isn't really there with Siege as much anymore. Like I said, it's like you have like maybe 3 games max before it's like you come across cheaters, you come across just like bad rank 2.0 gameplay, or maybe it's just like, there's just like nothing. There's no new operator, no new map to play, and you don't really get those like overtime intense ranked games with your friends much anymore, because like, yeah, you could do that, but then you just go up against a cheater the next game. It's just there's not a lot of like, again, like those 3 a.m. ranked nights with the boys where the game is playable. R6 is the worst rank system in gaming. I would agree, because to be fair, I haven't played any other game that like, I played Overwatch ranked, Fortnite. I heard it's really easy to rank up in Fortnite.
Played the game back then, and you would watch streamers like Modiga, like the crazy rank stacks, just play like Jinxie stack, play the game with each other for like hours straight. Console tournaments would run all late into the night. Ranked is where it starts.
Like ultimately, what I kind of want to end this off with, this ranked section, is Siege right now is a shell of what it used to be, and that's how it feels every game you play. Maybe not, you might be thinking about it, but you definitely subconsciously feel it, that this game is just a shell. Like, it's like playing the game away from its high. I know there's primes, there's times where the game is good, but it's like everyone was playing these magnified scopes here and there and having fun with it, and then now it's all taken away. It's kind of just like, yeah, it's like just continuing the workday, back to the routine, log on the game, and it's just like, why am I even on the game anymore? At that point, you might be thinking about it. It's like, there's really nothing to work towards. There's no rank to work towards. There's a lot of your friends might not be on anymore. And although I don't believe in reminiscing the past and basking in it too much, we can't move on from the past if there's nothing to look forward in the future as well.
Starts with that, and watching your favorite creators playing ranked endlessly on a playable game would make it happen. I think that you should have like the Ubisoft Police in the top 500, and people's streams making sure that streamers' games are cheaters free. I don't care if it's biased. It's your marketing strategy for the game.
You see, like, these changes are amazing. I think the way Ubisoft sees these changes, where it's like having a Ubisoft agent in creator streams, I feel like there's a really big disconnect between immediate care for the community. Everything that's committed towards the, like, not the devs, but like just people who work on the game, the connect of like the transparency is through like monthly 1 to 2 patch notes. The rest, everything else is just like, bro, the Ubisoft, like the Siege marketing, like social media team, bro, their game could be up in flames and they still post about some random console player's fucking potato clip. Hey, this is what Siege is all about.
Making sure that top 500 is squeaky clean, reviewing the those games, and hiring more of an anti-cheat games to manually be able to go through those match replays and pound on those games, because that is your representation of the game. People don't have a reason to push anymore for the top.
Yeah, there's no reason to
like get champ like
there's
the
no
way
incentive
they do in rank 2.0. Speaking of the top of the game, another big debate that happens is that people really hate that developers seemingly balance around the more competitive side of the game when there are casual players. Now this one I don't really know the right answer to. The most stable esports title competitive games that are still alive out there that have the most steady player base, League of Legends, Apex, Valorant, those all balance around their top players. Okay, so like the model says balance around your top players because it makes sense. If a top player can't abuse it, then it's not broke.
I can't really think too much about like how Siege was more balanced about the pros. I can kind of see a little bit because there's like barely any casual spirit left in this game. It's like you load into a quick match, you're facing up against a fucking champ that's warming up and killing everyone trying to get into a hiding spot. Or maybe you're trying to do like a recruit full shield rush. You can't do that because you're getting spawn killed. And I mean, it's just like everyone's just trying super hard and everyone wants to be good. But like maybe the only thing I can think about that was a change for the pros was the cooking grenades. Now grenades are kind of like airsoft grenades.
Lower skill. And then you have turbo brick.
Forget the with the prime.
Like this guy who was complaining about the fact that Blackbeard had to strategically place himself, like reload, something that no other op does when they remove Blackbeard's ability to safely reload behind his shield. As if you aren't supposed to reload to reposition with every other operator in the game. But on the other hand, you have games like Fortnite, who despite having like a more like fluctuating player base, do make changes a lot around fun. And
dude, I'm not gonna cap. I think Fortnite makes too many changes. Bro, I can't list the last 5 events. There's like a new event every fucking like 2 weeks. Anime collabs, Star Wars is back. Fucking creative is like 10 different sections. I feel like I'm going through a hotel with 10 elevators just to get to fucking warm up.
Casual player base. I know the competitive side of the game is more restricted, but the other hand is appealing to the casual audience is good. And on top of that, you have to balance around.
I know Fortnite also is like, I feel like a lot of games are just trying to compete with each other, which is completely normal. Games have always been doing that. But Fortnite is trying so hard to become Roblox with the creative, but I think Roblox is just, their resources are just more flexible. Yeah, I didn't they do a fucking icon skin with Kai? Bro, Kai has Kai played like, does he even play Fortnite? Or did he? I know he played that one section with Speed, but man, that sucks for all the other Fortnite creators who've been grinding the game for a skin. But to be fair, Kai's influence is fucking insane with Speed. I wouldn't be surprised if Speed gets a skin in Fortnite either. I mean, low-key, with Kai's size, I wouldn't be surprised if they made his icon skin a back bling.
It's a whole different world, right? Like, shields are infinitely more broken on console. The F2 was a gun with crazy recoil and fast fire rate.
Let's check out what else he's saying over here.
Avoid the masses and plagues of cheaters and open.
Let's go to the end of the video.
People always sit and they're like, oh, like, cheating, oh, the cheaters, oh my god, all the cheating and the cheaters. It's like, bro, cheating is not even what killed that game. It's like Bro, on console is where majority of the people play Siege anyways, and like, yeah, there's Zims and shit, it's not even that bad. Bro, the thing that killed Siege is just the game is stale. Like, there's no updates.
Hot take. I think what slowly killed Siege from the inside is operator bans and map bans. I feel like this eventually created more comfort for us to play the same 4 or 5 maps, especially if you're on defense first too, and banning operators all the time. So that way it's just like, it just creates more comfort. And I feel like that habit also applies to their gameplay as well. And I feel like it makes new content, new maps ultimately worse because everyone's banning Nighthaven and Lair all the time, and possibly other maps too. They can't even learn it.
I guess I could like say it now because it's all so old from like a year ago. But I mean, dude, I would speak with like Ubisoft frequently. It would just be me and like Ubisoft, and I would speak with them directly about updates and ideas I have for the game. And none of it got implemented, bro. I'm gonna be.
Wait, side topic. What is the deal with Roblox and like Predators or some shit? Like, I heard Roblox like supports it or something. Like, what in their defense is like? Are they just like another player to the game or something?
To be honest, like none of it got implemented. You get like with Siege, bro. You'll get a new operator like once every fucking maybe 6 months. You'll get a new operator. And then you'll get a new map like once a year.
I feel like it's even worse because like most of Roblox's player base is like maybe 16 and younger.
Like, bro, do you realize all Siege had to do, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like Siege would be the top game in the world, but all Siege had to do, it's literally this simple, is constantly give people new content and updates, but they never did that. They failed to do that. And like, Ubisoft is a multi-billion-dollar company. Like, I know they have the resources to do that. They just probably didn't want to do that.
All the resources went to their other failed attempt for games, and was put in half the budget for a new season in the Dual Front again.
But all Siege ever had to do was just update the game. Like, if every season, because the seasons are already rare, like, bro, that's my favorite thing about Clash is the updates are every month. So you actually get new content every month. You get new cards, new arenas, new challenges, new games.
Isn't the best card in Clash Royale the credit card?
Game modes every month. That's what a game needs is updates. Like, look at a game like Valorant, bro. There's updates. With Siege, the game would come around once every 3 months, and half the time you wouldn't even get a new operator. You wouldn't get a new gun. You wouldn't get a new map. That's all they needed to do, bro. Literally, that's all they ever needed to do. I think the beauty of Siege is there's no FPS that is... If you actually play Siege, you'll never play a FPS that's actually better than Siege. When it comes down to, like, when you're in that one...
I wonder if Ubisoft, I mean, it's probably, like, theoretically, they know they have the most uncompetable FPS out there, but it's almost like any human or any kind of like competition. If you don't have competition to like push you against the wall or like put pressure on you, I feel like there's no reason for them to change when they know they can kind of get away with like lackluster updates because they know people will still play this game no matter what.
Be one scenario and it's like a post plant and your entire team goes dead fucking silent because you're trying to like hear the last guy's footsteps and then you clutch up. Like, there's no game like Siege, which is... That's why, like, when that whole dual front mode came out, which is like some TDM mode, it's like, what are we doing? Like, why is there even a dual front? Bro, I don't even have the number.
Oh my god. Well, I said this in the video. I reacted to this Jinxie one, but they I remember like my second time playing dual front, they like immediately pulled me out. And maybe I had like maybe a few hours to collect my thoughts about it, and they want me for an interview. And they tell me to like tell the interview that's gonna be on the main broadcast, which it didn't end up being on the broadcast, but it ended up being in a fucking ad that everybody saw. But it was like, tell us your thoughts on why you think Dual Front is good for the game or something like that. Or like, how do you think Dual Front will impact 5v5 Siege and the future of this game? And bro, when you have a lot of microphones pointing and cameras pointing at you, you know, I'm like... It's like LeBron fucking saying his summary of his book. Is there a video about that? Hold on, let me see.
So you are holding the autobiography of So you're holding the autobiography of Malcolm X along with Alex Haley. I don't know how far you are into the book, but what's your biggest takeaway so far?
I kind of just started a couple days ago. Read and a lot of notes over the years. It's my first time actually reading this from start to finish. Very smart man.
Very smart man. He's a very smart man.
Very smart man. Basically, his words in the 60s and what was going on is actually what's going on today still. It's unbelievable to
Bro, this is like reminds me of when you're in high school trying to hit that word count on your fucking essay.
kind of read something that's coming directly from him. Wish I had an opportunity to meet him. It's a pretty interesting book.
Dude, look at those eyes. He's like, please let me go. Please let me go. Let's get back to the GCAP.
Never play COD because I've played Siege. Like, Siege is just a better experience than COD when you're playing with your friends. But the problem is there's just no content. There's no updates. The game is stale. Like, that is the issue. You'll get 2 operators a year, and then maybe if you're lucky, you'll get 1 new map a year. Like, for that game to like re-enter like top 5 on is so niche. It's like the top like 1% of players actually.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we've covered everything, guys. Watch us on YouTube. Save Siege. Can we get in the chat right now? YouTube, Twitch, or YouTube comments. Hashtag Save Siege. If this continues on for another season, I don't know. I for the first time ever, I don't know what the game's gonna do. I don't know what they plan on doing. But hey, hashtag Save Siege, guys. Hashtag Dual Front is goated. Let's time him out for 30 seconds. Hashtag Save Siege.